Hi, welcome to our Wonder Voyage, a journey us through internal and external landscapes. I'm in my kitchen in Sheffield, at home. I won't show you around because there's no need for you to see how messy it is. But I wanted to come to and speak from kind of the most mundane place I could think of, because I've done videos and thoughts and reflections from like remarkable landscapes on beaches and mountaintops and so on. But there's something important for us to know and really recognize that the Wonder Voyage isn't about going to remarkable places and magnificent vistas. Um, it's about engaging with that flow and journey wherever we are. And if we can't do it or haven't found our way into the rhythm of doing it, when we're in the most mundane, everyday spaces of our lives, then we could go to the finest cathedrals and temples to pray and meditate. We'd go to the most magnificent mountain ranges, and they'll be amazing. But we won't have learned how to engage in that the flow of the Wonder Voyage, the energy of the Wonder Voyage, the rhythm of the Wonder Voyage. Because about finding the balance between the external adventure, the external landscape, and the internal flow, all the spaces of imagination and heart and emotion and soul and spirit and all of that internal stuff. And finding the balance between both. We, in the process of breathing, which we do every moment to live, we breathe out and we breathe in. We breathe out and we breathe in. And we need both to be alive. We can't always be exhaling, we can't always be inhaling, we'd explode. And so it's important for us to find the balance between the inner and the external flow and engagement. And I think you see it so often in people who are out of balance, and I've experienced this in my own life as well. So people who are so externally focused might be an activist, say a political activist, working for a really worthy, a really important cause, but their focus is so much on the external, the physical things, making this change, and their identity is so entwined with making this political change or whatever it is, important as that might be, that they never inhale, they never find the inner strength, the inner wisdom, because it's all out there. Or the person who is the the contemplative, the mystic, they've retreated to a mountaintop and they have this just most rarefied, transcendent experience of oneness with light, with all things. How wonderful, what an amazing thing to do. But unless that's grounded in the bodies we have, there's something significant about the fact that you have a body with all the drives and desires and aches and pains and pleasures and everything that entails. There's something significant about the fact that you are in the place you are right now, the country you're in, the time and moment in history you're in. We are embodied beings. And to flow too far in the kind of inhaling the internal world, we we become disconnected from the reality that we are incarnate, embodied beings, and there's something important with that. And I wonder, you might need to be helpful just to take a moment to pause and just sense, is there an imbalance for you? Are you so focused on the external, even like going on adventures, whatever it might be, the external thing, to the detriment of the inner experience? Or are you so focused on this inner world? In many ways, that can become quite kind of narcissistic if we're not careful. Just that focus on the inner flow, and just to sense, where is your balance? Because our fulcrum point for each of us will be at a different place. Yeah, some of us are absolutely in this world to be activists, out there really acting, working for change. And I have huge respect for people who do that, because it's not really in my DNA, but it's amazing to see. And I really want to support and give love and life to people who are working like that. So then your fulcrum, your balance point is over to one side. Maybe you are, your calling in life is to be that contemplative, that mystic, that creative, that artist maybe. And so maybe your fulcrum point is over to another side, but that's okay. We just need to find our balance point. Okay, where do I need to find my balance point so that there is an ease of the flow of breathing in and out, internal and external landscapes. And this importance of the mundane place, the place where we are right now, wherever you are right now, even now, this moment, as you're listening to this, as you're watching this, this is the place where you can begin or continue or go deeper. I was 8 years ago, I think, I was driving up from LA to San Francisco, and I drove up the Pacific Highway along the Pacific Coast, Highway 1, and through Big Sur National Park. It's a wilderness space. It's an astonishing place. I stayed in a hermitage in the redwood forest there, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. And there was a monk there, and so I was in this hermitage, which is a place you go and stay in this little room, and they'll bring you some food. No one talks to you. You just have time to be still and be at peace alone. But then you have moments where you can go and talk to someone just for kind of spiritual guidance and so on. And I had a conversation with one of the monks who lived in the community there, and as we were talking, he was talking about how his sense of calling to be there in that community, to tend the garden and so on and so on. And I said, and I suppose in your being here, then you get to dispense wisdom to travelers like me coming through, and you can that's what you're here for. And he said, no, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. This conversation, this is incidental. If this happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All I'm called to do is to be here. And he gave me this quote, and I can't remember where the quote is from, but he said, when the monk finds the peace of their calling, then 10,000 souls are saved. When the monk finds the peace of their calling, then 10,000 souls are saved. And what he was saying, or certainly what it meant to me, was that all we need to do is find the place, the moment, exactly where we are meant to be. That niche in the world, in the network of relationships, the place where we might be. It doesn't have to be anything grand or spectacular. It may be, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be anything world-changing with fireworks and so on. It may be just quietly pottering away in the garden. When we find the peace, when we find our niche in the networks of the world, this entire living universe, when we find the right place in that network and find our peace there, then the life that flows from that ripples out and does just wonderful things that we can never, ever imagine or measure. Because this is a way of being that is beyond measurable outcomes. With so many kind of funding applications and so on, it's like, well, what are your outcomes? How are you going to measure this? And this is all part of the kind of capitalist structure that we've been indoctrinated with. Actually, all we need to do is be exactly where we're called to be, exactly where we're created to be. And when we engage on the wonder voyage, and we find that balance between the flow of external, the physical things that are going on in our world, the internal landscapes, the soul work, the imagination, the heart stuff, when we find that balance and we engage on the wonder voyage, then we gently and surely enable ourselves to really be exactly where we should be. And there's nothing to worry about, and there's nothing to strive for, and there's nothing to feel guilty about or shame about. Just breathe in and out. Be gentle with yourself, love others, and be exactly where you are right now. So wherever you are, sending you lots of love from my kitchen in Sheffield. And I'll see you soon.